gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to yet another edition of Debate Fuel. And of course, I'm your host, your boy, the Prince of Bosch himself, Dwayne. I'm in the building, and I'm joined by, well, my two favorite people who, we got to let loose on y'all because we got some heavy topics to talk about. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and just do this, championship style. And in my blue corner over here, we got the Eagle flying, Celtics green pride wearing, anti-cowboy hating.
Yes, sir.
My man, Derrick Myers. Talk to the people. How you doing, sir?
I'm great, bro. Just starving. That's it. Outside of that, I'm good.
Hey, I feel you. You starving to get that debate action, right? You starving to eat your opponent up over here. Is that what it is?
Tear him up.
That's what it sounds like it is. And of course, over here into the red corner, right here, I got my man, my boy, the one and only black and gold Saints fan himself, and let's not forget Mr. Zion Williamson, the hype man, and the number one reigning, defending, undisputed LeBron James champion and partial Lakers fan, if you will, Mr. Ric Sincere.
How y'all doing, everybody? Humbled to be here.
Yes.
My boy. Talk to the people, man. How you feeling, Rick? How you feeling?
I'm doing well, bro. Geek to always be here, bro. It's an excellent day, man. I saw Zion, man. My brother's ready, healthy, got the fresh cut, and he had the guns out, suns out. So it's a beautiful day, especially for all these Pelican fans out here. You know what I mean? Everybody was wondering if he was gonna turn into gumbo, gumbo Zion. That ain't the case, and we over here geeked about it. You feel me? So we ready to rock, man.
Hey,
I got a hot take for y'all today too.
Oh,
y'all ain't ready?
Let's get it.
Okay. That's what we love. But before we get into that hot take, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the special guest referee for the very championship bout on this edition of the Debate Fuel, I'd like to welcome a special guest in the house, a number one host of a very dope, popular basketball show by the name of I Got Next. My boy, Wes Reynolds. Talk to the people. How you doing, man?
What up? Doing good, man. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, sir.
Hey, no problem. Welcome to the Bayfield. So let's go ahead and we're going to kick this thing off a little bit with some NFL talk before we get into the basketball talk a little later in the show. So if you haven't heard this news already, let's go ahead and just remind the people that there was a key signing that took place this week from a brother that, nicknamed Superman. I guess it's fitting now since he's a super patriot, if you will. Ladies and gentlemen, Cam Newton is officially a New England Patriot. He has gone to the dark side, some may even say. Does that even make him Superman anymore? I don't know. But fellas, what are y'all thoughts? What are y'all feeling? Talk to the people.
Man, I'll open up the floor. Go ahead, DM. You want to take this one? Or you want me to take it?
No,
bro, honestly, I'm so geeked for Cam. I'm ridiculously excited for Cam Newton. I'm not excited about what he got paid because that was criminal. But I am excited about the opportunity he's able to get, right? So Cam Newton was actually, he was the face of the franchise. You remember 2015, the whole world was dabbing. Everybody in the world either you were a Cam Newton hater or you were a Cam Newton fan. He took the entire planet by storm, kind of by what he was able to do on the field. He was tremendous. He was large. He was athletic. He was a phenomenal athlete, and he was doing it in a way that was so crazy because he didn't have any real weapons, right? And then he got hurt. I mean, look, carrying the team on your back for that extended period of time could hurt you. So he got hurt. So with him being hurt, right, he finally, so he gets hurt. He actually has to, leave, right? He's off. He hasn't been back on the field for a few years now. And we haven't been able to see MVP Cam Newton since that time when we saw MVP Cam Newton, right? So, got cut. And all of Carolina was a little bit sad about it, right?
Yeah.
But not really sad because, they understood a little bit. Like you kind of got the vibe in Carolina that, hey, man, he's not the same. And so it's time to go. And Cam Newton, didn't take it well. He took the IG. He started working hard daily. You start seeing him in the gym all the time, right? Quotes, gospel music playing in the background, right? He started to get biblical with the stuff he was saying, right? And then all of a sudden, after he had been through so much stuff, bro, he finally gets his opportunity. Team after team passed on the opportunity to grab a guy like Cam Newton, an MVP. Y'all don't want him. They didn't want him. In New England, always, y'all know how Bill Belichick is, man. When everybody else playing checkers, he playing chess. So he knew he could swoop in at the right time and get Cam Newton for a bargain. He did. Cam was like, you know what? I don't even care about the money. I just want to prove everybody who doubted me wrong. Feel me? And this is his time. This is his chance to do it.
You know why it was the right time for them to get him?
Yeah.
The PR. That's why it was the right time for them to get Cam. I will say this though. It was yes, because they announced the punishment for the cheating scandal when they videotaped the Bengals and everything like that. It was PR. But I have two guys that I think that it would be very beneficial for them to go get.
Go for it.
Trade for Njoku.
Mm-hmm.
Get you a nice tight end.
Wait. I don't know though.
Why?
I don't know. They actually spent a lot. They spent a few of their draft picks on tight ends, and so they already spent enough draft capital on tight ends in the draft. New England did.
Who do they have at tight end right now though?
Before then, it was Ben Watson, but Ben Watson is retiring, right?
Right.
And
right.
so in the draft they went after some tight ends, and so and honestly, a lot of people were hoping that they went after co-commit. They didn't. They went after in the third round. They spent 2 third-round picks on tight ends, right? One from UCLA and the other one from Virginia Tech. Devin Asi, and then Dalton Keene. Both were tight ends, third-round tight ends. And so, you spend a third-round pick on a tight end, you expect to have some type of production. The Saints were another team that spent that type of pick on a tight end in Adam Troutman, right? And they they spent some capital, some draft capital on some tight ends already. And I think it was on purpose because they knew what they were going into, right? David Njoku is a different level of talent, right? Like he is, and you expect to see him, but he's been somewhat of a disappointment during his time, with the Browns. And so, it would
because
be good
of Baker
for them.
Mayfield.
I mean, it could be, it could be because of Baker, but honestly, it's because of that offensive line, in my view.
That too.
And
but
so,
I think Baker is a good part of that.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I think with some protection, Baker could be okay. But I think they've spent a lot of at least draft capital on tight end. I don't know if they actually go out and do the thing with David Njoku.
I would be intrigued to see if that's what they do. I think if they could figure out a way to get Njoku, that would be a move to make. But also maybe getting Josh Gordon.
Now they've had Josh Gordon before.
Yeah.
You think
cheap contract.
And you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, they got a Super Bowl. With him on the roster, they got a Super Bowl. I'm not saying he was big or anything like that for their run, but
they had him last season.
But I think a reunion.
And he just burned you again.
But this year they're not testing for weed.
Yeah, but his problem is alcohol too.
Yes, but that's 50% of the problem. I think. Listen,
are we not done? Like, you advocated for them to go back after a girl who's done you twice. She finished you twice.
Have you never gone back to an ex?
Has it ever worked out?
In some cases, it has. In some cases,
for real,
it has.
Like
in
legitly.
Some cases, in some cases, it has.
Did she get you to the ring?
No one's got me to the ring yet, so
that's a different conversation.
That's because I'm not ready. but I did buy a ring.
Okay.
So in some cases,
was it for X?
For an X, yes.
Now I bought a ring for an X2 one time. That didn't work out.
Listen, it didn't work out. But listen, I think it would be a very good option for them. You have Sanu, you have Josh Gordon, Sonny Michel, with Cam Newton. That would be a really good offense, and I mean, I guess Julius Edelman as well. But that would be a really good offense for them to have. That would be a more so a cheap option. They are going the cheap route, so why not dive head first with that? Just go full throttle with it, man. Why not?
Nah, man, I like it. I like the I do. Okay, so I think about Josh Gordon. Honestly, what you're presenting is a good thing. I understand, because you're saying, hey, look, if you're going the cheap route and you're looking for cheap talent on offense, then maybe cheap talent on offense is, somebody like Josh Gordon. Another guy that's out there is Martavis Bryant, right?
That's right.
So Martavis Bryant is another guy who's kind of available, who could be like,
big.
cheap talent, right? And big, right? Big and cheap talent, and fast, right?
Yeah.
So they could go that route of cheap talent. I also like the thought of I like the thought of Njoku. I don't know if they would, based on what they did, but they could go the Njoku route. So okay, let's say they do that. So let's say they go after Njoku, Martavis Bryant, and they have Josh Gordon. I feel like what we're going to find out is how well is the system working, right? How well does this system work? Because think about it. Everybody has blamed Tom Brady for eternity of being a product of the system, right? And we've seen several quarterbacks go into that system and it work out well for them, right?
Yes.
And we've seen that in New England. When Tom went down, we saw them still have an 11-win season because the system can work, right? And the system works. So now we're going to see, hey, look, can the system work for real with a mobile quarterback like Cam Newton? And I don't even know how mobile he'll be, with the second version of himself.
I have high hopes for him. I really, I actually do. I know a lot of people are saying that they think he's lost a step, but the strength seems to be there. I don't think he's lost a step in terms of mobility. I think he's going to be a bigger threat than a lot of people think.
And I think
really do.
Do you think he'll blend well into that system? Though, do you also think, and this is my last question for you, like, do you think that they become a Super Bowl contender based on Cam Newton being there?
I believe so. Because look, like I said, you're replacing Tom Brady with mobility. That's pretty much it. Brady wasn't mobile, so I think you add that mobility to that offense. I think that'll be a very, very intriguing thing to see. Now, if they face off with the Eagles in the Super Bowl, it's going to be the same result as last time. But
all right.
But I do believe that they would have. I think they have a really good opportunity to make a run this season.
But you know what? I think that system is based on timing, right? It's a little bit based on timing and the ability to get the ball out pretty quickly and to use those slot receivers. I like Cam a little bit for that. He has some experience throwing to his running back out of the backfield, right? They like to use James White a lot. He had Christian McCaffrey, so that kind of blends. The slot receiver, they'll have Julian Edelman as a main piece for them. That could blend well. I'm concerned about him holding the ball for an extended period of time.
I can see that.
And I don't see that being I don't know how that blends in with this system. I hope it works out, right? But I wonder if he goes back to that tendency, or still has that tendency of holding the ball for an extended period of time.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. But I think this Cam is going to be very interesting. I honestly don't see him staying in New England past this season, though. But I think it's going to be very intriguing. And, maybe they bring him to Atlanta after that.
I just want him to get that apron off his head and call it a day, man. Whatever that thing is he's wearing, I just need him to switch that up. And that mop thing he got going, I need that to go away.
Hey, man.
And I'll be all in.
I like the locks. I think that it's weird how he styles it. That's about it. But Cam is different, man. The only thing I hate about Cam, and I said this on the sideline, guys, the only thing I don't like about Cam is his font. That's really it.
That you don't like that font?
No. No.
Wait, my man's walking around in a freaking onesie and a napkin on his head, and you got a problem with the font.
Westbrook does the same thing.
We gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that a little later. We're gonna say that for the debate of the week. But
I don't like. Okay.
that being said, that Cam is definitely, for the Patriots at this point, because now it's make or break in both cases. It's going to be an interesting headline and an story to see, was Brady initial parts of the Patriots' success, or will Cam come in and single-handedly show that, much like in the past of Rick's point, the Patriots can be successful without Mr. Brady? We'll see that with him being in the Bucs. Now, that being said, though, let's talk about another NFL team that's made controversial headlines for Get thoughts.
Well, we're losing. We were losing you there for a second, Dwayne.
You were chopping the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you fellas hear me?
Yeah, I got you, man. Good. No.
And them being backed into a.
Yep.
Okay. I know. I think I can pick up where he's going. The Washington football team. What are your thoughts on the fact that they are now being backed into a corner to forcibly change their name?
Sounds about.
This is a tough one. It's a tough one, but I'm gonna go on the side of them needing to change it, right? Like, and we need to hear. Okay, so there's the Native American community who is outright saying that hey, look, this name is offensive to us, right? Mm-hmm. Like, this name is offensive to us. We don't like it. Please change it. Right?
Right.
And it's one thing to just call somebody a racial slur. It's a whole nother thing to have that racial slur be the logo. Have apparel that's sold with the racial slur, right? Have people dress up and chant the racial slur. Have like everybody just kind of moving around. Okay, I got to think about the Cowboys versus the racial slur, right? The Patriots versus the racial slur. I got to hear it over and over again. I buy Madden. I want to play. I live in DC. I want to play with the racial slur. Like, what's the deal? You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it, right? Like, I would hate a team to be called the Carolina Negroes or the Negroes, right? Like, I would hate that. Like, wouldn't y'all hate it if there was a team called the Atlanta Knicks? Like, wouldn't that be a deal? I don't want to say it. I don't know what
Carolina Coons. That would suck.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Yes.
That would suck. Yeah.
Thank you, Wes. Wes with the save. I'm trying not to say the N-word.
I was going to say it, but there you go.
Yeah, you're right. I would hate to see the Carolina Coons and then see a bunch of white people walking around with Carolina Coons gear.
wearing blackface.
Oh man.
Just team pride.
Yeah, man.
That's not it.
I would hate that too. But this is the thing about it that's been an issue for me. This has been a conversation. This is nothing new. There's nothing new about this. Now Washington has done their little study and surveys and asked different groups if they find it offensive. They went with the ones that said no, they didn't find it offensive. There's plenty of people that said that it was offensive. And now that they are being backed into a corner where Nike, PepsiCo, and FedEx, who has their name on their stadium, are telling them you need to change this. Either you change it or we're done. And this is the only reason why they're changing it. If this is it, okay. I mean, this has been a complaint for years, though. This is nothing new. That's why I have an issue with all these different companies that do moves to just pacify groups. That's why this thing to me is just kind of like they're not changing it for the right reasons. They're changing it because they don't want to lose the money. And all right, I mean, either way, it's going to get changed, right?
Well, I think they are changing it. I heard earlier today that they were changing it to the DC Redskins. That's where they were headed, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes. See if that goes over well with the people who are complaining about it.
Because Washington, that's offensive. Washington's offensive. How dare you?
I know there are a lot of people that actually say that they want to change the name to the Red Tails, I believe. They said they want to change it to Red Tails so that they can go ahead and keep that R logo for the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
why don't you just call them the Rebels? I guess that's too Southern.
I don't know. I don't know. The problem that I have with all this is that
Renegades.
Only the Renegades. Yeah. See, I couldn't care less if they wanted. Their goal is to actually keep partial logo or whatever. That should not be the reason why you're changing the name to something else. Change it to something else. Like, just change the identity completely. The idea that there's some people that are actually suggesting names that still, like Warriors and other things, that still have the branding of Native Americans and whatever, is still offensive. I mean, there are other teams that need to go ahead and work on their names, like the Braves. There are other teams that need to work on that. But if you're talking about Washington, they need to just do a complete slate. They clean the slate, get a different name, different branding, all that stuff. Because what, you just want to save your mascot? Like, I don't get it.
Well, okay, so there's so much money that goes into rebranding, right? And it'll take possibly millions. I mean, think about it, right? So for MTMV, if somebody came out of nowhere and was like, "Hey, y'all got to change everything MTMV," that means a logo change, everything that used to have MTMV on it has to change, right? Like if somebody was like, "Hey, OTS is for somebody else," right? Now everything OTS has to be switched off, and so you have to go back and then kind of redo so much stuff. And then going forward, right, you just have to get a whole city now behind, this whole thing. But I have a suggestion, though. I think they should change to the Washington Mystics, because at least they have a championship in the last decade. And so
Oh, let's go. Let's go. I like
it'll
that.
Be good. Maybe it's something the city can get behind.
They have playoff experience.
They have.
And honestly, that's probably what's holding them back. Maybe it's just the name that's been holding them back. Since
hey,
like I don't know when the last time they were super relevant.
I have a theory though. Yes, I have a theory about that. They're not going to get over all the knee injuries on that team until that happens.
Curse?
I think they're cursed. I think they are. Darius Geis, Alex Smith, Griffin.
Yeah.
First name.
Oh, Robert Griffin.
Robert Griffin. Yeah. Everybody's had like near career-ending knee injuries there. So I think that's part of it. Like the same way we look at the Kardashian curse, that's how I'm looking at Washington.
But okay, so I want to say it's the curse, but the problem with the curse is that if these are, I don't know, like spirits or something, they take years off. So in 1983, they took a year off. And they won the title, right? In 1988, they took the year off, right? And then in 1992, it was like, hey, man, it's whatever. And so maybe they...
Yeah, they got new spirits that came in, took over.
Maybe so, and maybe okay. So maybe the spirits were like, you know what? They did go ahead and get the first black quarterback. The first black quarterback to ever win the Super Bowl did come from Washington. So maybe the spirits like, you know what? They are racist. They are. I'm sorry. The name is racist. It is somewhat offensive, but they are being somewhat cool to the blacks. So let's chill out. But then as time went on, maybe they were like, you know what? They stopped being so cool with the blacks. I don't know what's the situation in Washington right now with blacks. And maybe the spirits are like, you know what, man? We're back. And
back and better than ever.
Give me that knee. And maybe the only way they're going to get this thing right is if they change the name. So I think you got a point.
I think so, man. It's something is just off about it. Something's off, man. And Jordan Reed, his career is pretty much done, right? He's already retired, right?
Jordan Reed, wow. No, I think he's a free agent right now. But
I thought he was forced to retire because of the concussion.
No, I think Jordan. Well, I'll look to make sure, but I think Jordan Reed is still an available free agent. But I think about it, bro. Like think about this. This is kind of curses, right? We got Dwayne Haskins was like outright. All the scouts believed that he was the man, right?
Yes.
They went to go get Dwayne Haskins, and Dwayne Haskins like comes into Washington, and we're thinking, yo, this is it. The Giants go ahead and draft Daniel Jones, and everybody's like, oh, that sucks. That's stupid. That's dumb, right? And then by the end of the season, the Washington Redskins are thinking about, should we get Tua? And then, and everybody in New York is like, we love Daniel Dimes. You feel me?
Yes.
Like it wasn't supposed to happen like that. But
yes.
My God, that's the way it happened.
Look, for Tua's sake, I'm so glad he didn't go to Washington. For Tua's sake, I am so glad. I feel bad for Dwayne Haskins. But I think he'll be able to get into form. I don't think he'll have success, or that team will have any type of success, even like being the third in the NFC East until they change their name. I just don't, because this part of this is like I spoke about earlier, the pacifying thing. This is like the NFL saying, hey, we're going to play the Black National Anthem before the games. What does that do? I like it.
I like it.
I don't.